Alrighty. Looks I'm on here. I know it's a really nice day out there, so I probably won't be on here for very long. But I didn't do a Friday one last week, so I figured I'd get on here and see what happens. I do want to talk about depression a little bit before people might ask questions or whatever. Just so people, this video is out there. But I think one of the biggest things that causes the depression is the low carbohydrate diets. See it all the time. You see, people always just face down, walking, just look terrible and everything like that. And it just gets me to thinking how many of these people are on these starvation nation, low carb, keto, carnivore, paleo, if that still exists, diets. And it's such a hard life to live. And another thing too is when you have no energy, you're constantly thinking about yourself. And if you're constantly thinking about yourself, that's going to depress you as well. So I feel like it's just such such a terrible, basically circle that you got yourself in. You got the low carb, you got the keto, you got the carnivore, whatever. People think they're healing themselves or what is ridiculous. They're always depressed. They're always moaning and groaning and whatever about everything. It's just it's such a hard thing to watch. And these people are so hard to be around. So I figured to make, kind of mention that in the beginning too. Like one of the things, even if you are high carb, low fat, and you're constantly struggling with like depression or like mood, I think probably you're not eating enough. But another thing is people concentrate on themselves so much these days. I mean, it's not nothing like I'm ever used to. Like growing up, I'd never seen this before. I think I notice it now, but more because of being single and just the sheer amount of attention people give to themselves, and it just seems to cause a lot of angst, the depression, anxiety. People wanting to have such a chill life, wanting to do absolutely nothing and have stuff given to them. It's such a bizarre world that we live in. I can't even imagine back in the 80s, wanting to just chill, not do anything, get absolutely nothing done, want people to give me money, so I can just like live, float around, do nothing. It's so anyway, I don't know. It's just but I think that causes depression too, because people just get in their heads too much. I think that's what happened back in the day is people weren't in their heads. They actually had stuff to do. They didn't have all this accumulation of stuff. Like the house that I live in was built in 47. And there's really not like a lot of closet space. There's really not a lot of storage space because people didn't have a lot. They didn't have all this stuff that people think that they need these days, and they were a lot happier. I mean, if watch the people from back in the day, a lot of them are still happy people, positive people. Nowadays, I mean, it just doesn't happen. You actually had stuff to do back then. There was no internet. There was no phone in your hand 24 hours a day. There was none of this, and people actually just had lives where people nowadays think they have lives, but they're constantly staring at their phone. That's no way to live. And I think that's another thing that causes depression as well. So, anyway, that is kind of my spiel in 3 minutes. I usually would make a longer video about this. It was better quality of life back then, 100%. I feel bad. And I'm almost wondering if you weren't like in the 80s at some point, if you're even dateable for me. Like, it's really, and some of the stuff that I hear, like, because for whatever reason, like the 21 to 28-year-old female crowd is the one that I get the most attention from, and I really don't know that is doable. I love the 80s. Men actually ask you out, laugh out loud. Yeah, I remember that, but now, like as a male, you almost get nervous going up to somebody because you never know what kind of female it's going to be, or if they even identify as female. It was so much easier. You had like friends back in the day where you could actually just go up and talk to them, like, or you already were talking to them, And I remember I called up, yeah, watch out for Karens. Yeah, 100%. You got to watch out for all this stuff now. So it's gotten to the point where like I used to I wouldn't I never really had to do it though. I've actually been pursued my whole life. So I just kind of just had to ask them out like after they pursued me, I'd ask them out. But um it's it's just so weird now. Like you never know what kind of crazy you're gonna get. And maybe you wouldn't even at all. Maybe it's not like that around here, but you just see so much of it. But back in the day, back then, I hate to sound like a senior citizen, but back in the day, you didn't have, the internet. The phone was attached to the wall or a payphone, and so like everybody actually went out and talked to each other, and you didn't have any of this like social angst. What? Yeah. Oh, what year were you born? I was born in 80, actual 80, 1980. Exactly, a lot of superficial overstimulation. It's 100%, man. It's 100%. It's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, I remember, the first girl I actually asked out, I just did it over the phone. She was over my house, um, and she went home, and I'm like, "You know what? I've never been to a dance before." I called her up. I said, "Why don't you go to the dance with me?" And she's like, "Alright." But then I got stuck at work, so I couldn't go anyway. But, that was kinda like my life back, unfortunately, when I was mid to late actually, basically my whole life. Mid-teens through now is, like, couldn't get out of work, so couldn't go. But, yeah, so much easier, so much easier. She's actually one of the ones that came over my house one day, and she's like, "I'm horny, why don't we do something about it?" Okay. But, it just but I don't know. I couldn't grow up in this whole thing. I'd probably be on the news. I'd probably lose my mind. If I had kids in this, oh my gosh, I don't think it would go well. I don't think it would go well at all. But I see you see a lot of this, especially people walking, like, with their head down and everything like that. It's just, when you talk to people now, they can't even look at you in the face anymore because, they can't handle it because 'cause you're not on the screen. I mean, the amount of depression and SSRIs and just and everybody's thinking carbs are bad and these days, I can only imagine how much crazier it's gonna get. It's gonna get to the point where it's like everybody's undateable because nobody can talk to each other anymore. So, you better get in a relationship before that if that's something you want. But, yeah, anyway, I don't know. I think this is also coming from some of the DMs I get, and I'm like, "Mm-mm, nope." I love how your stories just take a surprising turn. I laugh my head off often. Yeah, my mind operates on a different wavelength. So yeah, it happens. I Everybody I know, I think just keeps me around for the comedy factor. You just never know what's going to come out of my mouth. I mean, even when I was in high school, people would hang out with me just for the pure not knowing what was going to happen next. But it does actually kind of work against you sometimes too though because people think that you're just too much to take or something like that and I'm like you're probably right so just go away. But yeah, it's always kind of been like that. You're so funny without trying the best comedy. Yeah, everybody, I've worked with people over the years who told me I should do stand up. Um and I thought about it, but I'm not really like telling a joke kind of person. I have to it have to be situational. Have you ever tried Tears of the Kingdom? I did make another channel. It's called Zelda Ate My Lunch on YouTube. I do talk about it. I have tried it. I have to say, I wouldn't say it's my favorite Zelda by any means. So yeah, it's not. I wouldn't call it my favorite Zelda. I really don't want it to turn into a video game thing. I haven't really made any videos for that either. just because life is just ridiculous. I can't. I'm terrible at scheduling, so nothing ever gets done. What's your take on caffeine? I think it's not very good for you at all. I don't know how people can even drink coffee. This stuff tastes terrible. It smells terrible. It looks like tar. I just I don't understand it. I'm not really a big fan. Like if you need a pick me up, like once in a while, or if you're at a race, but you got to be careful with it too, because if it's a really hot day, you can actually get extremely dehydrated if you take too much caffeine. But I'm not a fan. The most successful comedians talk about everyday life with people, which you do. They don't tell jokes. That's the kind of comedian I would have to be. That's the kind of comedian I thought about actually starting like a comedy channel, because this one is just taking a dump. No, I can't get YouTube to send it out to anybody. My take on caffeine is it's a good laxative. It can be, but actually, one of the few times I've been sick in the last 20 years was because I did take caffeine. I had like no sleep like 3 days in a row. And I mean, I swear I lost half my body weight in one day out the toilet, and I got gnarly sick. I mean, really bad. Depression is from diet, trauma, pathogens, or a combination of all three. Maybe. I still think the depression is a lot of people focusing way too much on themselves. What is your morning routine or trick to high energy? I wake up, I get out of bed, and I start my day. Lately, I've been just riding bike, and then I start DoorDash. I think also your the self-talk, man, and just the constant need for people need approval so much these days. It's crazy. This whole Instagram life has turned everything into, does everything needs a like, everybody needs a participation thing, award just for showing up. I mean, I swear to God, you can get a full letter grade upgrade in school these days just from writing your name. The victim mentality. It's ridiculous. Oh shit. Yeah, victim mentality. You are such a queer eye candidate. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean? I have no idea what that means. A queer eye candidate. You got to tell me what that means. It's not happening. I have no idea. Queer eye. Didn't that used to be a TV show back in the day when they made people up? Maybe I don't know. I don't want to be made up. I I am who I am. If you don't like it, then whatever. Queer Eye's a show on I don't have Netflix. What's your current diet like? I eat food and then I don't eat food. My current diet, dates, bananas, watermelon, potatoes, pasta once in a while. That's about it. I really haven't been eating a lot of variety. I'm really not into variety. That still didn't tell me anything. The Queer Eye is a show on Netflix. It still didn't tell me anything. Yeah, I really kind of backed off making a lot of stuff. What did I have last? Oh, I did make yakisoba last night. When you were weightlifting, how much meat would you eat daily? I didn't really go by daily. I because I bought it once a week, so I would go by the week. There were times where it was about 40 pounds of meat, eggs, and like whey protein all in a week. I kind of went by weight for the week. I really don't know. I honestly, it's been over a decade now, so I don't really remember at this point at all. It's it was a lot. It was a lot. I I think at my peak, it was like 40 to 45 pounds a week. What motivates you? Um, I don't know. I guess it depends on the day. Sometimes I'm not, so I don't do anything. Well, they look at your home, your clothes, your relationships, even what's going on with your life and your goals. Do you? But this still doesn't really tell me anything. Do you eat vegan burgers? Which ones taste the most like meat? I haven't had any in a while. Not, and I wouldn't say a ton. No, you'd have some crazy muscle memory if started lifting again. I have considered, and I don't like to say anything because people get mad if I don't do it. But I'm not gonna watch it because I don't have Netflix, and I'm not buying Netflix just to watch it. Uh, Crazy muscle memory. I have thought about doing a Mentor program in the fall. Uh, Doing like a skit. Can you do a Mentor program at like Planet Fitness or something like that? If you had kids, would you put them in public school? Probably not. Probably not. I think I would homeschool them at this point. I I like your cut, my hair. Thanks, but apparently I gotta go on, Queer Eye to have them tell me what to, do with my hair. Dr. Prego's has a line of veggie burgers that's pretty tasty. I don't actually like those. I guess you'll never know what I'm in then. Guess not. Thank you. Mean happens. I'm not gonna I don't have Netflix. And I don't really even I watch maybe an hour of TV at most a day anyway, so it's not likely to happen. Have you ever boxed for fitness? I did for a little while. I had a heavy bag and I had a speed bag. My sister actually took both of them. They're at her house now. She's more into that. She actually does boxing and speed boxing. That's more her thing. She does that and hiking. I just never got into it. I was into it for karate for a little while. Um, but yeah, I'm not messing with your sister. No, she's a little beast. She's only 5'2", but she's kind of a monster. Yeah, I mean, she's actually punched. She's actually knocked a 100-pound bag off its hook a couple of times. So she's a little monster. How are you so smart and knowledgeable? Um, You know, a lot of people watch TV when they were coming up. I had no interest in that. I would go to the library, and I liked our library because it was well funded, still is well funded, and they would back in LBJ days, he wanted all real history books to be burned, and our particular library didn't really like him all that much, so they didn't really do that. And so I got real good friends with the librarians, and I would some of them would give me the books that were in the back that were supposed to be burned. I've bought some of them. I just read over the years. I really don't forget a whole lot. So it's just kind of a combination. Do you have and another thing, I'm never, ever, ever going to read a fiction book. It's such a fucking waste of time. I'm going to just if I read something or listen to something, it's going to have some actual reality to it. Do you have any experience with spider veins, varicose veins? No, I don't. I know some people who haven't and never gotten rid of it. Are you religious or an atheist, agnostic? I think the atheist thing is kind of ridiculous because you actually are admitting that God exists if you're admitting that he doesn't exist. I don't really think there's a sex to God. Um, I technically am Catholic. I don't know that I agree with them either. Can you consider interviewing Bobby Smith? He's doing a 75-day watermelon fast. He's lost over 100 pounds, got off drugs, like, really vibrant. Bobby Smith. I don't know. I reach out to these people. Uh, they don't always reach out back. Bobby Smith. Prager's, the burgers. I really wasn't, I just didn't like the way they tasted. 75 day watermelon fast for $1 million. What is with you and the $1 million, man? Then don't do it. I'm 5'4". Where's this coming from? My sister, maybe? I'm always hungry on fruits, but gain on starch. I don't know how to proceed. I think I destroyed metabolism after being on keto. I gain weight so easily now. Yeah, you might for a while. Another thing is starch doesn't digest as easily, so fruit might be the best way to go. It's all about elimination. If your body can't eliminate it, then you're going to gain weight. If your body can't eliminate it, then you will gain weight or lose weight. It's really about the metabolism. How long did it take for your thyroid to heal after keto? I don't have the blood work, so I can't really say. But when I went from keto to basically fruit, well, raw vegan, I lost like a little over 100 pounds in a year. Just had not I would have been more than that, but I was really not too thrilled actually with how fast it was coming off. So there was actually days when I eat 4 to 5 um, avocados a day. Just had char grilled veg with couscous. Surprisingly, very filling. Yeah, that is good stuff. Yep, your sister. Hamburgers was my favorite food. Now burritos are. Yeah, my sister's like 5'2", but she's kind of like a little animal. You wouldn't know it either. She's a pretty girl, long hair, skinny. How did you afford 4 avocados a day? Damn. They were really expensive back then. They were like 25 cents a piece, maybe. They were basically handing them out, and then all the the Dr. Oz of the world and everybody started, telling everybody how good avocados were, and all of a sudden, damn, like they're like $1 a piece. But back when I was doing it, they really weren't that expensive. Do you still like to read books? I like to listen to books. I don't read them as much. I don't like a lot of stuff. I mean, if you look down here, it's kind of, shit's all over the place. I guess I need queer people to come in here and do it. But I really am more into listening. What was Sandy's biggest criticism of you? Jeez, man. Um, hmm. I don't know. She's upstairs. I should ask her. Biggest criticism of me. I'm sure there's many. I don't know. I could ask her. I don't feel like bothering her. I don't know. What was her biggest criticism? Probably my lack of compassion. I don't have it. It's not there. How did you have energy on keto if you didn't consume any caffeine? Oh, I didn't say back then. Back then, I was on caffeine all the time. But I hated coffee. I absolutely hated coffee. I used to do a Fedor caffeine and aspirin stack, and that was like daily. If you kept with keto diet, do you think you'd still be alive now? It's hard to say. You die when you die. Probably, but I really don't know. Ever tried a falafel sandwich? Yeah, I have. Crushed falafel with salad and tahini wrapped in Arab bread. Delicious. There's a lot of Mediterranean places around here, so I've had them there. Weird to have no compassion and be a vegan. I didn't get into vegan for compassion at all. I was dying, and it's the only thing that I could think that would save me. Um, I had a lot of compassion for my cat. I feel like humans should know better than some of the stupid shit that they do. How long? I don't know. Maybe that's not the best way to phrase it. I don't want to bring her down here because she's going to give a laundry list, I'm sure. How long did caffeine withdrawals last for you? I'm quitting it. I mean, I have no idea. That was so long ago. I probably came off it pretty slowly. The thing that really brought me off of it the most was the government made ephedra illegal, and basically that, cold turkeyed me, with the whole thing, and then every caffeine supplement after that was just so terrible. So the the, uh, the government basically is why I came off because they made ephedra illegal. Ephedra was extremely effective, but caffeine, I just really didn't like it all that much. Don't you connect to people? People connect to me, um, but I don't always connect with others. I don't know. This is I feel like you're trying to frame me here. I wish we could, see Sandy's face on a camera just for a second. There's no way. I don't think. Hey, Sandy, they wanna know if you wanna be on camera. They wanna know if you wanna be on camera. Yeah. No, in 3 years. I don't know if that's happening. Thoughts on getting enough calcium in diet? Is it something you consciously strive for? I don't think it's something that you gotta strive for at all. Who is Sandy? She is my oh, here she comes.
I'm not covered in dog hair.
Dog hair?
I'm covered in dog
The
hair.
camera's right here.
Oh,
There she is. Everybody's seen Sandy.
here I am. I'm real.
So somebody asked me, what is the worst part of me?
Where do I start?
Exactly. See, this is why I didn't want to answer this question.
The worst part of you.
Yeah. Biggest complaint.
Your indecision?
Oh, it could be, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I think that's what causes most arguments.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. My indecision is what causes all of our arguments. That's it. That's why she hates me. As what her biggest criticism is or my indecision. I do struggle terribly with that. Um it's really bad. It really is. I have a very bizarre pituitary that has a nodule on it, and it does create just so much angst in my brain, which is why I make these videos. I don't want other people to go through that. So that's my compassionate side coming out. Sandy actually looks happy. Yeah, she is happy. And she does what she likes. I mean, she's got a job of her dreams. So, I mean, what else can you say about that? And she lives with me. I mean, how could you not be happy? But yeah, that really causes a lot of arguments. It really is. I can't stand it about myself. That's the one thing that I've always wanted to work on with me and have struggled with. This this is gone in so many directions I was not expecting today. Um, I probably should do a video about the indecision thing. It really can ruin your life. You are my twin from another country. Laugh out loud. Oh boy. Now I'm back in Israel. Yeah, no, I guess that's I was not expecting her to say that, but yeah, anybody who struggles with that, um, yeah, you're welcome. For what? You told me I needed queer people, and then what's my worst trait? I don't think that needs a thank you at all. But huh, what an interesting thing. I just never know what's going to happen on these live streams, and here it is. I think I'm going to go now, cry in a corner. But wow, conversation starters. So what am I supposed to go up to? Hey, I'm indecisive. What's your name? I mean, hi Sam. I mean, she's long gone now. She's making salads or something. She likes that. She likes that. She's very type A, so she likes to make her food prep for all times of the day, and then she, always has stuff ready. Where me is, I have no idea even what I'm eating next. What's Sandy making for dinner? It's not really dinner time, and both of us are going to be out of the house shortly here. I have no idea. I don't feel like calling her back. She's probably just putting she likes this time of year, she likes just making a bunch of different salads. If you could choose to buy one non-tropical fruit from for free, then you're not buying it. For the rest of your life, which one would you choose? Non-tropical. I actually really don't like too many non-tropical fruits. Well, technically, dates aren't tropical. They grow in the desert. I'm gonna go with dates. Clearing the gut, most important, I feel. Yeah, it's very helpful. Do you think AR, VR is destroying interactions with reality? It's going to, and that is definitely the plan that they've got. That's where they want to go with it. Uh, yeah. Oh, she's cute. There you go. Come to Ohio. She's available. Um, yeah. That this I finally did see like a little infomercial on that Apple AR. I think that's what they're calling them. I you will not see me buying them, as you could literally give them for free to me, and I would sell them. Um, so not gonna have it. Does Sandy have a sister? No. Her daughter looks identical almost, so she's got that, but she does not have a sister. Sandy is beautiful. I'll have to let her know. Um, guess that was a dickhead way of saying that. She is. I will let her know you said that. I guess I'm indecisive on what to say. But yeah, that's actually why I haven't been making as many videos lately, because I can't get my brain to operate. I've been working so much, and then I'm like, oh, I don't feel like doing anything else. So I do the lives. The lives are a whole lot easier. I'll probably just keep doing these lives and probably not have as many videos out, especially this time of year. There's just not as many people watching, and the topics have just run dry for me. But there you go. I didn't think she'd ever come on screen. She's actually 10 years older than me. I really don't mind age thing at all. Really doesn't bother me. So, all right. Anything else? I might get closing this out somewhat soon here. I usually wait till it has the most amount of people and then start closing it out. Like that makes any sense. And anything else? Has Sandy tried during rider protocols? No, there's no way. She's German. She likes her sweets. She likes her chocolate. She likes all of the other stuff. I mean, as you can see, she's what, 52, and you know, she's on no medication whatsoever. She's not going to listen to that. Are you still working 10 to 12 hours doing Grubhub, DoorDash? Kind of, yeah. Well, because I started adding in bike riding in the morning, so I'll go for like an hour bike ride, and then DoorDash is usually busy from like 10:30 to 2:30, and then I'll take a little hour break, and then I go out until it kind of tapers off at night. Like I said, it wouldn't be Ryan live stream if you didn't say I have to go soon. Yeah, I always try to give myself an out. I'm like the government, I got to give myself an out here. Just well, they weren't there. I had to go. I'm surprised she came on camera too. I got my wish. I'm shocked. Yeah, I'm shocked she came on camera. She's not really into that kind of thing. Wildfires reached New Jersey. Have they? I haven't seen anything. I did see a bunch of people filming them starting these fires. I did post something like that on my Instagram. I'd imagine everybody here is on my Instagram, but if you're not, I have it. Should be linked down in the description. Sandy may become more popular than you. Okay, then she could take the channel over. Then I don't have to do anything because the royalties are going to go to me. She's not She's far as far away personality, from me as you can possibly get, so, I think people who like my personality Sandy's much more passive, much more probably likable, although she's kinda quiet, though, so I don't know if she would I don't know how that would go, I really don't know. She's thought about starting, channels, about different things, but she never has. Thoughts on heat, intolerance, ways to fix it with diet. Like, somebody who doesn't like heat, or, like, it's hot easily no, I have not found that. I'm somebody who really struggles with that. It doesn't bother me, but sweating as bad as I do does bother me. The only thing that they ever came up with doctor-wise is that, uh, to give me this pill that makes you so you don't sweat. I thought that was the dumbest thing. As far as heat intolerance, it has gotten better over the years. It's a lot better now that I'm vegan than it was when I wasn't vegan. But it hasn't gone away. On days like 2 weeks ago, it was on average like 95 degrees heat, and then it was in the 90% humidity. Um, then I couldn't live with it. It was so unbearable. You did a video on livers needing repair. How would one do that? You really have to eat high carb, low fat for that to happen. There's potatoes supposedly really clean it out quite a bit. My thing that I've done, and I like the best is actually fruit is a really good cleaner. So the more fruit you can get in your day, but don't do terrible food combining. Because if you do, then you'll be extremely bloated. Opposite for me, unable to sweat basically. Maybe try hot food, spicy food. That might help clean you out. Maybe there's issues with your body somewhere. Maybe you need to really clean out. When I went raw, I was much colder, even in summer temps. 100%, man. Oh, it's almost irritating. I was last year. I was doing some raw weeks here and there, and I mean, I was shivering. I mean, it wasn't super hot. It was like 70 degrees, and I'm like, this is just this is nuts. But somebody who has the opposite of that almost sounds nice. I don't know. I mean, I know some people who use like really spicy hot food for that reason, so they can actually, kind of speed up their metabolism and actually have a reaction to that. Maybe, but then I find the people who don't sweat like that really don't like hot food at all. So I don't know. That one I don't know. Um, I know that there's actually some people who literally can't sweat, and that becomes a huge problem. I don't know if it's to that extreme, but yeah, I'm so far opposite. I don't even know what to say about it. That's one subject I know I heard a doctor one time talking about like if you can't sweat to have hot food like spicy food. I don't know, take it with a grain of salt with these doctors. I have no idea. But I have heard that. Other than that, I really don't know. What supplements, that probably you probably have a hard time with your heart rate. You might want to do stuff to get your heart rate up. What supplement helps with hepatitis C? You've asked this before. I really don't know. That Dr. Sebi used to deal with that. Yeah, basically, I mean, I can manage, but it's pretty bad. Thanks for responding, though. Yeah, I don't know anybody who can't get like a really good sweat going on if they with kettlebell swings. So maybe try stuff like that. You probably have a low heart rate, which can be good and can be fatal at the same time. Um, I don't know. Play around with it. Extreme exercise should help you out. If you're not sweating in extreme exercise, oh man, that'd be rough. Yeah. That one I really don't have a lot of answers for. Maybe Durian Rider would have answers to that one. Maybe McDougal. Um, who else? I really you could reach out to McDougal. I know he still has doctors that see patients. but it's like $250, you know, per visit because I don't think it takes insurance. Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's one I really don't have any knowledge of. It's not something I ever lived with either. The Sandy's kind of like me, actually. We both are people who sweat. All right. Anything else? This has been the most bizarre of lives, I think, yet. Other than one where people are talking about jacking off the entire time. All right, I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I don't really have anything else to say. Would you try the duck flower detox? I don't even know what that is. I'm gonna say no. I have no interest in these detox things. I don't even know what a duck flower is. So it's like sounds like something made up. There's so many detoxes out there. I mean, there it's just such an easy way to make money. You take the cheapest supplement or cheapest like thing on the planet, you crush it up, you put it in a little powder form, you put it in this fancy looking box, you charge $50 for it. Then you make a regimented, thing. Take this, and they know every 30 days you're going to be coming back for their little $50 box. It's just I stay away from that stuff. If you really want to clean yourself out, a high fruit diet is going to clean you out. If you really want to build, greens build. Fruit cleanses, greens build. I mean, I would just use nature foods. I know they're not as healthy or whatever as they used to be, but it's certainly better for you than most of the stuff you're going to be buying in these detox boxes. But I could be wrong about the duck flower thing. I don't know. How much watermelon is too much in a day? Eating alone, I don't. Can you eat too much? I don't. I don't. I mean, I guess if you are imploding, then that would be too much. If your stomach literally comes out of your body, then you probably know that you had too much. I really I can't think. I mean, there's people that do entire like weeks of just watermelon. Thoughts about white bread. I don't really think about it much, but if I were to think about it, I like it better than whole wheat bread. There was a study done that McDougall talks about that I never actually looked up, but I'm assuming he's legit. That they took college students. Now I think this was back in like the late 70s or early 80s or somewhere in there, where the college 15, or the freshman 15, most freshmen would gain 15 pounds because of you know studying and beer and all that kind of stuff. And they gave these students, there was three groups. One group was told to just live like a regular college student. One group was told to eat 12 slices of white bread. One group was told to have 12 slices of whole wheat bread. And at the end of the semester, or actually, I think it was quarters at that time, um, college and university were, I think, quarters up until like the 90s. Um, they, the group that did absolutely nothing gained the typical 15. The group that had the 12 slices of white bread a day actually lost 19 pounds, and the group that did the wheat bread or the whole wheat bread lost 23 pounds over that amount of time. So that's my knowledge of white bread. I asked this hepatitis C question before in another stream. You said something about black seed supplement ozone treatment. I don't recall saying that, but uh, black cumin seed would be one that you might want to try. Ozone, I wouldn't. I don't think that was me. Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Different version of me. But black cumin seed might actually do something. Whole wheat sourdough bread tastes better than white. Okay. What college did I go to? I went to community college for a while. Here's my indecisiveness. I couldn't decide what I wanted to do. And then I went to school for video game design. And I was told by the professors there that I was way too good to be in school, that I should put a reel together and just send it to Hollywood, and they gave me contacts and everything like that. And I went and I didn't do it. So here we are, sucking at life. Is ketchup the best condiment you can find on high carb, low fat diet? I don't really like it all that much. I'm Irish. I can't say that. I'd be kicked out. I like mustard more. Um, Probably my favorite, matter of fact, is probably barbecue sauce or mustard. What about honey? Honey isn't vegan. That part, I'm not really a huge. I don't really freak out about that, because if I were to buy honey, it would be from like local places. I just can't have it. Like my throat starts to close up, and it's not the honey that I'm allergic to. I have a lot of allergies to flowers. I got Shackley liver detox supplements. I didn't even know they're still around. I think I said that the last time, shouldn't I? Cool. I mean, you might want to look into the medical medium on that one. The I know a lot of his people do potatoes. Honey tastes better than white sugar. Okay. No. Uh-uh. What about ketchup is Irish? I don't know. Every Irish person I've ever known, it loves Irish ketchup. It's like they put it on everything. It's I don't know any Irish people who don't like ketchup. It's largely because uh especially when I was growing up, all Irish families had like these huge families, and the mother just got tired of making a ton of stuff. So if you didn't like it, just put ketchup on it or just don't eat. Why am I never hungry in the morning? I don't know. Most of the time that you hear that it's your thyroid being an issue, it's thyroid low. This could be variable things. Your digestion could be really slow, and whatever you ate the night before is still there. There's many different things that it could be, but by and large, it seems to be thyroid is somewhat slow. You can tell that pretty easily by taking your temperature. I mean, just look at the charts, what your temperature should be in the morning, and you take it under your arm and see what temperature you are. Oh, you mean Irish American? Well, all right. So here's the thing: there's more Irish in America than in Ireland. So who's right here, right? We can go with the Irish American thing, but actually, a lot of my family in Ireland loves ketchup too. So no, I'm just gonna stick with Irish. My thyroid and digestion are perfectly fine, and I mean, I have a lot of family still over there, and they're still like ketchup freaks. My thyroid and digestion are perfectly fine, and I'm not hungry in the morning. Of course, yeah, I mean, you're the perfect anomaly for everything. It's like you like to disagree with everybody. You asked me one time why you couldn't get a date, and if you do this to everybody, that would probably be the reason why. I mean, you disagree with everything. But anyway, I am going to end here. It's almost at an hour, and I got to get back out there working my 10 to 12-hour shift. I'm probably going to be making another video about Brad Marshall next week, because somebody actually did send me kind of a Cliff Note version of what he's talking about. Um, it just depends on how much you eat for dinner. Maybe, maybe. It really, there's so many variables involved here. Uh, you remember commenters? Yeah, I remember a lot of the comments. Starch is the best. Starch is the best carb for satiety. Fruits leave me energized but empty in the stomach. I gotta read this again. Starch is the best carb for satiety. Fruits leave me energized but empty in the stomach. Well, of course, yeah. I mean, that's the beautiful thing about fruit. Is it leaves the body, like, and this is the thing about starch. Like, if you're really having a hard time losing weight, maybe back off some of the starch and add more fruit in, and see how that works out for you. I would never You would never what? Remember commenters? I don't know. I don't know what the I feel like I feel like you and I are pretty similar. We make pretty similar comments here. I'm usually good at understanding what people are saying, but you are just very uh few words. Cracks me up. Uh yeah, here's the thing with the starch and the fruit. This is why like you always start off your day with fruit if you're ever going to have fruit in the day, because if you have it after starch, there there would they're going to collide in your intestines, and that's when you're going to have all the bloating, and then you're not going to be hungry in the morning because you ate such terrible food combination. Yes, I would never remember commenters like the details. I mean, I don't remember all of them, but I do remember some of them. um you know, it is what it is. I know. Here I go again. I love this kind of stuff. I would sit here all day and do this, but it really doesn't, it just doesn't pay the bills. So I just can't do it. If I was one of these people that had like super chats or whatever coming in every 3 seconds, like some of the game people I used to watch, then I mean, I would sit on here all day and just do this, but it does not, it just doesn't, it just isn't that way. So anyway, I think I'm gonna get out of here. Um, I probably do one on Tuesday. Monday, I do hope to have a video out again about that Brad Marshall, because I am very interested in some of the findings. Because I have to be honest, some of the best weight loss I've ever had did also have a fair bit of fat involved, and I'm just trying to get to the bottom of this. And I know some of the people watch these videos who durian rider Nazis, and they get really mad at me, but there's got to be a reason that all these potato studies, everybody who had this was in these potato studies had potatoes and fat and they lost weight. And I'm trying to figure out what that mechanism is. But anyway, I'll see you next Tuesday probably, and until then, thanks for watching. Peace, and I'll talk to you next time.